here that they just kind of give up on themselves and start losing faith.
So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Map 2 underway. It's the semi-finals here, the ESL ESEA Invitational, live in Dubai. Team SoloMid are trailing Ninjas in Pyjamas 1-0, and NiP already trying to start things off fast. And we were talking about the fast and loose style that maybe they had in the last map. Mirage, actually, this kind of suits them, the fast and loose. This could work for them. Freiburg quickly challenging out KGB on short there, and are already pushing on through.
A bit of a deja vu from the pistol round on Dust 2. KJ getting picked off on Catwalk. Oh. And now Zipnix is in a lot of trouble. Bomb's going down already.
Oh, quick aim punch, and Zipnix has already been picked off. That's going to be, now, Get Right pushing on through. Karrigan found out in Kitchen, and NiP are just swarming on TSM, and wow, perfect round from them, a killer piece. Absolute teammates for NiP. That's how you start a pistol round.
That's definitely how you do it. And I guess there can be made a case for the fact that Kitchen should have been able to pick up a frag on Freiburg there, but you know, when you get like semi-jump headshots going your way, I don't see NiP, you know, losing confidence off of this, obviously. So they're just going to keep the tempo up. But
look at the pace. Look at this is exactly what we're going to see from NiP, I think, throughout. And it's down to TSM to stop this, to put them in their tracks. Forest already making his way up connector. Karrigan actually at window as well. So I wonder if he's even realizing that maybe they have that little bit of mid control. I'm not too sure. We're going to see a little pass by, but Device finds Forest, and that is going to work wonderful. That's the UMP in his hands, but NiP stacked out at the moment, waiting for this smoke to clear. Get Right and Alu with Freiburg going through underpass. B. This time around, TSM have rotated, but the question is, have they overloaded on B site?
Well, as of right now, the bomb is still in B app, so it looks like NiP are more likely to just wanting to get one single frag before they do anything. But yeah, Dupree right now pushing far up in A apps here, and this is giving so much information to TSM just to kind of solidify the decision they've made.
Exist does manage to get Karrigan down. It's going to be a good starter, as now they have to worry about the angles. They have to worry about people pushing in from short. Freiburg actually is going to go through underpass. Now Dupree is coming up behind them. Now going to see Exist backing in there. Zipnix will catch out Get Right. Zipnix holding steady, holding strong, but Alu will put pate to that one. Dupree gets around the back. Oh, he wasn't quite able to take down Freiburg as he hopped through the window. Device does, but now it's all on Dupree. Gets himself another tag down on towards Alu, but still can't finish the job. Just collects himself an AK, but Alu on point, manages to find himself the second of the round, and NiP 2-0 up.
Yeah, so TSM managed to slow down the tempo of NiP, but having, you know, pretty much no investment, barring a Deagle and a 5-7 here and there, no armor, and that makes it so hard when you get into those close situations like that for TSM to actually have any success. I still think it's a great eco for them, getting down 3 people from NiP.
Well, this could work out well for TSM. Look at this, they've triple stacked just around the corner in Dark. Are they going to expect it? Get Right coming through with a P90. They haven't actually looked at that position. They feel that they already caught the man, but Forest and Alu do manage to strike. KGB still unfound. They're going to drop down. Oh, of course they check their position. Alu gets himself 4 in the round, and they just decimate the little pistol there from TSM. But now we're on to Rifle. This is the round TSM have to pick up. We see the AWP coming out from Karrigan. Is he going to take it window?
I think he has to now. For TSM, it's going to be very important to keep mid control, especially if NiP decide to run as fast as they have so far in the game. So that's one of the ways to slow the T side down. And you can already tell the top mid smoke coming down, but NiP are putting more focus on towards the A bomb site right now.
Alu actually got himself into Palace. Dupree keeping him at bay, just heads himself a nade. Just took him down to 57. You see Karrigan there, just trying to get a little peek on connector. He actually went straight out of window, so quite aggressive. Forrest has managed to get on the top of mid, though. While this is all happening, Get Right, you see, lurking in the smoke, just dropping through. As it just clears, he manages to catch up. Zipnix completely unawares. KGB does respond, but Karrigan almost drawn backwards, but they're making sure they don't over-rotate, and they realize that there is potential presence at A site.
Yeah, and right now, there's not a lot of nades for TSM, for NiP to work with here. So getting onto A here, this is going to be really tough, especially with TSM having 3 people in the vicinity.
Oh, the timing. Karrigan just backed away from connector as Forrest took a peek. And now Forrest back to window as Karrigan peeks. Back and forth they go. Freiburg just lingering. There's going to be a smoke. Alu gets the flash out there. Freiburg's going to push on through. Dupree in Dark. Device holding it. Double box. Forrest creeping his way up, but Karrigan's holding the angle. It's going to be a straight up duel. Oh, the timing. Karrigan just picked around, and that's going to give Forrest the advantage. He's pinned in the corner, but Device spins around. The crossfire as well, and TSM managed to cut them down. Beautiful little triangle setup they had there. to cover all the angles.
Yeah, it was very well set up. It's still pretty scary for them, though, because if Forrest manages to get a hold onto Kerrigan in that situation, all of a sudden the triangle is kind of loose, and that allows for Exist to get out of apps, and all of a sudden that spells a ton of trouble for TSM. So even though they had a pretty much ideal setup to hold off NiP that round, that still could have gone horribly wrong. Kerrigan actually going aggressive in mid here.
Well, Freiburg's got the Deagle that's challenging him, actually. Oh, that nade straight onto him. Takes him down to 47. Exists with the Tech-9's the man that's putting pressure over at B, but look at Get Right. He's going to get a boosty. He's going to launch up in towards Kitchen, but Carrigan's already backed himself right back. He's towards DT spawn. He's keeping an eye on the angle, so as soon as Get Right shows himself, he should get spotted out. Alu trying to rattle the shots through the smoke to find Device, but he's holding steady in connector, not giving himself position. Oh, he got tagged up, 54. Manages to back away there, gets out alive though. But Get Right just around the corner, remember, he's going to come in, Tech-9 in hand. He gets quickly answered by Dupree, but it's going to loosen things up, and now Dupree is going to get pressured. They know that he's in dark, they're going to push around. Freiburg's going to be the man that tries to find him. He gets a quick spray down though, doesn't manage to connect. And now Carrigan in and around, post box will get himself one on Forrest. And now we're into a 2-on-2. Alu and Exist, both been landing their shots so far, but it's Zipnix that responds. Exist with the bomb plant down, caught in between a rock and a very hard place. Catches a glimpse on one, gets the spray down. He's down to 11, but Carrigan, he's only got the AWP in hand. He has to challenge it. Exist so close to landing him. Is he going left? Is he going right? Carrigan lands the shot. He will get the defuse. He has time without the kit. And that's an important second round. TSM get themselves another, but it costs them a lot of money.
It cost them dearly. Look at it is the AWP that they managed to hold on to in that round. So the most expensive weapon is still in their hands. But NiP getting that bomb plant, they could easily go for another force buy here.
Let's see what they go for.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
AKs and Tech-9s is supposed to, that's going to be the recipe, and Galil on Alu as well. But this is obviously a big thing for NiP, because if they lose this one, they're most likely going to be back to ecoing, or they are going to be back to ecoing.
And they're going to push it faster when nade lands. Double nade landed on Exist and Alu there. That took them both down to 25. And that was Zipnix and Cajun B doing wonders. And now they were trying to go fast there, straight into B site, but that has stopped that attack dead in its tracks. And NiP forced to rethink their strategy this time around. Yeah,
I'm actually kind of surprised that they haven't, shifted who's got the weaponaries right now. I guess Tech-9s is still a pretty viable option, but if you could get an AK on Freiburg or Get Right for that matter, that could also do a lot, because you give them more of an opportunity with more HP here.
Forrest caught out by Carrigan. It's a long-range shot down connector, just a little peek. Carrigan should find Freiburg here. Second he comes around the corner. Exist is going to challenge it as well. Doesn't manage to get the tag this time around, but gets a quick leg down there. Exist will get picked off. Device through window, pops around. Doesn't quite get the second. Freiburg goes down. Get Right's got himself into B, and what in the hell? Spins around with a double headshot, and suddenly the bomb is planted in B site, and it's a 3-on-2 advantage for NiP and TSM. They're on the save.
They're giving up. Really, what can you say about that? That's just kind of vintage Get Right, isn't it? I mean, there's no real solid explanation as to how that is possible. It's just quick 180 drag and down all of TSM's B defense go.
That's you can't counter that. That's like when a player suddenly starts hitting those shots, there is no counter to it. There was a double setup. They got the double nade down early. It was a brilliant little B setup. Dupree will manage to pick up Freiburg on the exit there, but that was a forced round from NiP. That was fantastic. There was just Galil, AK, and Tech-9s. That's all they had, and they managed to take down TSM. But Carrigan held onto the AWP, and that's important for them because they're kind of hurting for cash right now. Yeah, and you could tell, this is why NiP went for that force buy, because they knew how shaky the economy of TSM would be. So even though they save a couple of weapons, they don't really get that much out of it. And that was someone getting dropped there. I just noticed. Didn't see what the actual RML was, but nonetheless, he has been dropped out. So, yeah. Something about BPK files missing. Oh. Anyway, they're going to restart, so ignore this round, because it is going to get stopped. Yeah. So, okay, 4-2 NiP. Let's just try and look at what we've already had so far. Very up-tempo NiP, again. So similar style to what we've seen on Dust 2. And, well, it just seems like they're, as cliche as it sounds,
they're hitting their shots. I mean, you're not going to win a force buy round like that if Get Right doesn't get those 2 frags on the B bomb side. That's just how easy it is. And right now, TSM are struggling simply because they haven't been able to get into a situation where their economy has been built up and they can actually afford to play their usual style.
And the thing is, we talked about this right at the start. They would be expecting this. They knew that NiP, based on what just happened to Dust 2, they knew they were going to come at them fast, hard and fast. And it's worked. Like from the pistol onwards, a perfect pistol round onwards, it has worked out way for them. I know I hate saying this because I've said it so many times, but how many rounds is good for T-side? You're going to say as many as they can get.
Yeah, as many as possible. But again, I think it's TSM's CT side here that is the stronger side.
Yeah.
For the most part. And I think NiP can be, if they can get to 7 or 8 rounds.
Anything more than TSM. Yes, that is correct. They absolutely destroyed on Dust 2. Not too sure what's showing on that screen. Hopefully they'll sort out what we can see on the other screen. There we go! And we are live. Straight away, what do we see?
Oh, aggression right away from NiP, straight into B here.
Gonna come straight around there. Freiburg drops down there. Zimnix will find him. Carrigan quickly as well. Zimnix just off in short. He's gonna catch out around the side. KGB as well. And maybe the pace of NiP has been deadened by that break. Exists still with the bomb though, and Get Right is still alive, but it's a 2-on-5, and that is a very tricky situation. Dupree is going on a massive roundabout, and he's actually going to find Exist as he comes around the corner. I think Exist, did he see him? Did he catch him? Doesn't matter because they both find each other at the same time. And TSM did pick up the round, and that was a big round for them. Pause from Forest. Damn you.
No, it was definitely a big round, and what we really didn't have time to talk about before, NiP just set goal for B was the fact that given how heavily that force buy, or how heavy that investment from TSM was with limited money, that would mean that they didn't have too many needs to work with, right? So I would have liked to see that being one of the few rounds where NiP kind of slow it down and just basically bait out as many needs from TSM as possible, but that didn't quite happen.
TSM going to continue singing while Freiburg sorts out his mouse, or Forrest, I think it was actually his mouse that was possibly sorted out. But there we go, he's back in it, he's unpaused it. Let's get back into the game. So 4-3 the score, and well, as we just pointed out, NiP's speed this time was finally counted. So obviously TSM had a good long time to talk about it, and we're seeing a scout coming out from Device. Carrigan with that orb. Carrigan's actually going to be taking the orb to short, but we can see on the minimap that NiP is set up for A.
Yeah, standard EX coming up, and already we're seeing Forest come out before the smoke's off, so exactly what they talked about at the desk.
But the Device manages to land the second shot on towards him, hops up and down, does manage to get a little tag through there, doesn't quite catch out, but catches a glimpse. It's Alu that's on Tetris, and you can see the hopping going on. Exist quickly caught out. They're still yet to really get a big tag onto Device. He keeps on hopping in around here. But a stop has been called, apparently. There is problems, so we are going to get a round restart. That is Forrest, I believe, that's had the problems. His USB mouse has stopped working, so we're going to get a restore. Okay.
Yeah, no, definitely need your mouse to be working.
Freiburg, it's Freiburg that's got the problems. Okay, thank you.
Is it Freiburg? Okay.
Thank you, yes. I just saw, get told there by, he's...
Seems like we're unpaused as well, so back in the game we go.
Yeah, so here we go, ladies and gentlemen, back underway. This semi-final. Let's see if NiP do something similar, whether they have any problems. No, it's going to be a much slower approach this time. Alu and Forest going to try and challenge out top and mid.
Yeah, and TSM on their end, they do pretty much the same thing, having Carrigan push aggressively on, with that op on Catwalk. He's not going to find anything just yet, though, because NiP have smoked it off. Carrigan, so far, no action. Yeah,
the Carrigan's got to be careful there, as his Device. They're going to try and go for the boost Device, though. Look at him. Just hiding in the corner. The smoke clears, and it's Exist that comes out on top. That's an AWP. Going to go across towards him if he wants to use it. But instead, they are going to try and get a little sneaky peek. 4 of them stacking up connector there. It's Get Right that gets found out, but they're going to keep on challenging. Cajun B's going to come around the corner in Toll Booth, just try and challenge out. Dupree down in dark. He tries to rattle off the shots. It's a good flash that comes out, but it's Dupree that will go down to Forest. And now Cajun B with Zipnix in support, and Carrigan coming around, but it's NiP that have control of A site. Cajun B finds one, but Freiburg quickly responds. Carrigan booms out the AWP and manages to find on Freiburg. Now we're into a 2-on-2, and Alu still with a bomb in hand, yet to get it down. Carrigan is not missing right now. Alu's going to try and challenge out, and Carrigan finds a third. Fantastic stuff from him, from jungle.
And he's been stepping up big as well. You remember that 1v1 situation versus Alu as well, so he's definitely feeling it right now. And that's what we've seen from TSM, you know, especially on the CT side. Once Kerrigan gets that off, he's allowed to play around that middle area and just kind of roam around and do his own thing. He's really effective.
Well, it is going to be a pistol for NiP. 4-4, all square. This is what we were starting to expect from TSM, and I just wonder if all these pulls, all these breaks have actually worked in TSM's favor, giving them time to get together. NiP maybe gone a little bit more serious, the fact that it's like, whoa, hang on a minute, we've just won that one with ease, and now we're suddenly starting to roll a little bit over TSM. And maybe the confidence, the air of arrogance that perhaps was around them has just maybe dissipated a little bit there. It will be a straightforward round for TSM as they pick themselves up their 5th round of the half.
Yeah. And well, weirdly enough, TSM actually opted to not pick up the op for Kerrigan there at the end. So that's a bit more money. So, you know, that makes that one kill that gets actually a lot more valuable than you would have imagined. But, you know, TSM winning quite a few rounds in a row now. Still have the money to get that op on Kerrigan.
Oh, is this really going to be a fast A?
This is going to be really fast as well.
No, I think they've slowed. No, they are going. They're going. It's 1:33. Kerrigan, though, is going to try and get right down. Will manage to catch on to him. Smokes and counter flashes all going around. But TSM, they're going to get challenged out. dupreeh once again still in dark, but Device and Kerrigan have been found. dupreeh going to get stacked up on it. Forrest has managed to land the shots. And now we're down to a 2-on-2. Xyp9x and Cajun with Exist planting the bomb down, but Alu, the defender, has been caught out, and they know exactly where he is. He has to challenge one of these, and he has to land the shots. He gets Xyp9x down. Cajun from the side, but now it's a real tricky retake. They know where he is, but Exist surely with the advantage here. The bomb is ticking. Cajun has to make a play, and Exist simply delays, throws out the smoke. That could cause him serious problems. Is it going to be a fake? Is Exist going to fall for it? Oh, the shot's rattling through. He's down to 1 hit point. Tries to get a peek across there. The shot's spraying through. Exist peeks. It's a jumping pistol. Then Cajun gets taken down. NiP get themselves the 5th round of the game.
Wow. You know, very well played by Exist, showing once again, you know, ice in his veins. But for me, the hero of that round was Forrest. Somehow ending up with 3 frags there while taking over the site, pretty much doing it single-handedly. Kind of using a couple of teammates as decoys, but, you know, that's okay when you get 3 frags.
Oh, Kerrigan, beautiful shot straight away. Quick one on towards Exist, and it had to be. Then dupreeh tries to rattle some shots down, but he doesn't manage to get a kill. But he got a big slice of Alu and Forrest as they pushed around the top of mid. Cajun gonna get a little creep around. He knows that Freiburg was trying to push his position, and it's NiP that are just gonna hold the top of mid while TSM look to try and collect things. Device is going looking, so he's on the massive information gathering mission, and if he keeps on going, he may actually find Alu, who's rotating around, just covering off T-spawn.
Yeah, I think Device might have had a hunch that NiP are pretty much nowhere to be found in this area because he managed to kill GetRight in AAPS, and that's usually a sign that NiP are finding themselves on the opposite side of the map. Device not risking it though, playing it actually pretty passively, so TSM are not getting that much information out of it, but if NiP are not too careful, they're going to make a lot of sound cues that Device can play off of.
He hears them coming. He backs around. Is he just going to use the post? Yes, he is. It's going to be a sneaky peek. Alu's going to be the man that comes around. Xyp9x finds one. Device gets the second, and suddenly Freiburg in no man's land all the way back at T-spawn with next to nothing to play for. It was trying to be a sneaky fake, but it just backfired on them horribly. And Xyp9x and TSM read the situation very well. Looking to be a 6-5 start here. Freiburg, good spray straight away on Xyp9x as he passed on by. I don't think that smoke's going to fool him. He's going to flash himself in. Comes around, sprays into the corner, gets himself another possibly. Gets a little tag down on dupreeh, but Cajun just around the corner, sorry. He's going to run headlong straight back into Device. Oh, and it's going to be after the time as well. And Freiburg will go down. That's going to hurt NiP, and they're going to be pretty broke on this round.
Yeah, it's that typical win one, lose one right after type of situation for NiP. And I actually think, you know, even though as, you know, against all of your instincts, it feels, it's probably better for Freiburg just to pull up his knife and suicide into Cajun at that point.
Just to make sure he goes down, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, it's going to be a quick rushing play, but it's going to be dupreeh and Device that will get challenged here. Or a little peek may well have given the game up. dupreeh gets a glimpse on that nade, going to go straight on towards GetRight. Didn't do too much damage though, just bounced off the side there, but they're going to keep on pushing through. Device yet to be flashed up, expecting someone to come out there. Has yet to pop around, finds himself one, gets the spray down on the second, and it is just carnage for TSM, completely annihilating NiP. It's going to be 7-5. And this is exactly what they wanted after that break. They were 4-2 down until those errors occurred. And now they find themselves 7-5 up. This is the CT side that TSM expected. Yeah, this is way more like it. And right there, as you said, the jig kind of got caught out for NiP as soon as two people get spotted in the pit there, right there. So TSM make a fast rotation, have 4 people on the bomb site by the time NiP start executing. So pretty easy hold. And that was a force buy from NiP as well, so they're back to eco here. Alu and Freiberg going to push on through. Oh, good dink straight away onto Device. That's going to be a rifle in their hands. If CSGO doesn't catch them first, he does manage to rescue that M4 and back away. So now, what will they do? Because really there was not a lot of damage done to them. Yeah, and I don't think Device managed to see the bomb either. He only saw Freiberg in that situation, so they have no idea the bomb is still in AAPS. Exist is making a lot of noise. Oh, another dink straight onto CSGO. He's going to back away. That grenade should finish the job, but it doesn't catch on towards them. And these pistols are doing some serious work here. Now Alu's going to get a peek around there. Got himself one, but not the second on Dupree. But that is A side fairly open. Dupree then lost Solman there. Zipnix is going to come through and creep on in, but Dupree is holding them off, and that's all they need right now. There is no armor, remember, but Get Right gets himself an M4. Bomb plant's going to get caught out here. Freiberg just get exposed by Zipnix, but Get Right gets another response. And suddenly it's a 2-on-1. How is this happening? NiP, they were on a full save here. Karrigan's going to creep around. They're just waiting, but oh, Get Right caught out in the open. That's going to be a pistol gun down from Karrigan. And now Forrest, all alone. With no rifle in hand, there's plenty surely to be collected for him. He's just got to find a weapon. Time's starting to run out, though, and Karrigan knows this. I'm actually surprised that Karrigan has taken this of an offensive position, but it's probably, yeah. Having no idea where Forrest is, he's expecting a backstab, so, you know, with that train of thought, it's probably, yeah, it makes sense for him to go in towards the side there instead of potentially getting backstabbed. That was very close. Yeah, taking them down to one man in an eco. Yeah. TSM's economy, you know, we talked about that AWP that wasn't picked up, had to be rebought. It's just another one that was obviously picked up. This time Karrigan did collect it, but CSGO's got himself an AWP this time. And it is going to be the top of mid. Dupree kind of caught in no man's land. He might actually push through and catch them, but Alu will strike first. Now, one man down. How will that affect them? Forrest has gone fairly aggressive over here on B. TSM forced to back away. Forrest has actually made enough noise and caused Zipnix to panic a little that Karrigan has gone for the rotate. This is a big rotation as well, but as I say that, Zipnix managed to find Forrest. Alu going to come around. It's Karrigan that he finds. AWP on AWP action. And now B site surely will be the focus. Exist, I think, is going to run the bomb through underpass, through around the side there, but Zipnix at Van is on 20 health. Freiberg trying to find his position. CSGO and Device still holding angles. Still have a nade. And wow, they do still have a nade. Straight on the box. CSGO in kitchen. Remember, he bought this AWP this round. This is going to be very costly for TSM. They went down to one man. They completely had to rebuy. And if they were to lose this round, financially, they would be in a little bit of trouble. And that's going to be great for NiP fans. But Exist does get taken down by CSGO. 2-on-2. Device pushes on through, leaps through the window. Freiberg caught a glimpse of him, but he's not really got the rifle for this close range action. But it doesn't matter when they have the crossfire setup. And NiP make it 8-6. Yeah, no, very solidly done by NiP there. Very calmly played as well, especially after the situation where Zipnix manages to find Forrest. They get the pick with Alu on short there, and they don't rush it. They don't rush into Zipnix. They take their time. Freiberg waits till his teammates are closer, so they could potentially trade if he gets caught out while throwing that nade. So NiP are, well, not playing, you know, carelessly. They're, it seems like they're, you know, starting to evaluate the situations more and more. They're starting to play a little more cautiously. It's like they're starting to actually consider options rather than rushing into them. Of course, that was all opened up by the fact that it was an aggressive, I think it was Dupree that went up the ramp early on, but Alu finding himself another one. A 5-on-3 situation already. Device going aggressive with that P90. He's got himself around T-Spawn. Now that's going to trigger NiP to push on through, but CSGO with a quick CZ75 on towards Freiberg makes it a 3-on-3, and they got to worry. They know that Device is coming around the back of them, so they have to either speed up or push on towards one of the sites, or maybe just cover off their backside. Get Right's going to go peeking, but Alu gets himself another, and TSM find themselves locked down a B site. CSGO going very aggressive. He may fade the planter here. Exist is going to get it down, but Alu strikes again. He is absolutely rocking this round. Gets himself 4. And it was the Alu show to end the round half. 8-7, that is a good T-side score from NiP. TSM going to be looking at this pistol eagerly.
Yeah, that was those two last rounds from Alu pretty much set NiP up for victory right there. So they do manage to get a really good first half score for NiP. And well, you know, we talked about the previous 5 matchups that TSM had versus NiP. Obviously, they'd won them all, so they feel good about that. But the one map where NiP got into double figures, that was Mirage. So maybe that's, you know, there's something in the air right now. NiP are definitely playing way better than what we've seen them do in a long, long time. So I'm excited to see how the second half is going to play out. I think, you know, TSM haven't had much luck doing pistols so far in this game. And I think if that trend continues going into the second half, NiP are in a great position to just close TSM out 2-0.
Yeah, if they can get their economy going on the CT side, it can be a real tester, certainly. TSM well aware of that one. One map down. Pressure very much onto TSM. Not something any of the analysts were expecting. I don't think really anyone was probably expecting, judging by NiP's performances over the last 6 months.
No one in their right mind would have expected this. That's really just how simple it is. And I guess one of the big question marks for NiP going into the CT side is what the desk touched on as well. We've seen the double op being extremely effective and a pretty big part of how NiP play their CT halves. If they're ever going to get to a position in this game or in this half where they can have the economy to do so. Because obviously it's a big gamble to go in for the first buy round. You pick up 2 ops, and you instantly lose. That sets you back with probably a double eco at that point. So that's not a situation you want to be in. You don't want to give TSM a pretty big lead when they're already on, you know, a side that they can do very well on.
Well, something you mentioned, you know, at what point does suddenly the realization kick in over this fast and loose play?
That we're actually about to do it.
It's like, hang on a minute, we might be in the final if we win this half.
Now they have to realize that they're in a situation where people expect them to do well, and that's gonna, you know, make them play worse, weirdly enough. But, you know, if the first map has shown us anything, or the start to this game has shown us anything, it doesn't seem like it has for NiP yet. So, you know, barring massive delays or that type of thing, you know, knock on wood, I don't think NiP are gonna be too worried about it.
Well, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Second half underway on the second map. NiP leading 1-0, and it is 8-7. NiP had themselves the perfect pistol in the T side. Can TSM match that? There's a grenade going out. That's going to catch on, but Dupree will do the damage, and he takes down Forest. And it was very much a mid-control push, something I don't think NiP were ready for. Karrigan and Device doing work in A site, very much overrun by TSM. Get Right and Exist, the last two standing for NiP. Very much locked out of sight here, just hoping they can collect something on the way. But Zipnix catches Get Right snapping, but catches and spins around. Get Right, I don't know how he managed to react to that one, but nonetheless, it will be TSM's T-side start. That is exactly what they needed.
Yeah, and a very convincing pistol at that. And, well, they're not actually going to do, you know, what we typically see on a lot of maps, which is basically buy up with SMGs to get that. And
that's actually a very TSM thing to do as well. They normally stack out those MAC-10s.
Yeah, and I think this is actually the right decision to make. Rather than, you know, hoping to build up an economy, just safe it. Yeah.
That's a misread, is what it is. It's a hope, a stack, and unfortunately for them,
it's not going to pay off, most likely. You can see TSM were setting up for an A execute, so unless they do the sickest fake in history.
But look at this, because they've delayed, NiP had a good look, and it's like, okay, there's nothing here. They're actually going to be back around in position, almost. 3 members there, but of course it is just pistols. Get Right with the scout, still hanging around. Forrest does manage to find himself one. Zipnix will reply, and Dupree also, but that's a good tag from Exist there. Not being able to close it out, though. Took Zipnix down to 13 health. But it's just Alu and Get Right. Get Right with this scout. Oh, not able to land it on towards Zipnix there. Gets the second chance, but immediately he will get caught out. Alu with a quick reply. 2-on. Dupree is doable, but he's all over in Palace. And Alu, I think he's going to try and get around and pick up that scout and then get back away.
Exactly. And I'm actually kind of surprised because, first off, when you have a scout in a force buy, it's typical to leave him alone towards the B bomb side because he can do so much damage. And basically hold the T side off for such a long time that it allows for rotation. So I would have, you know, expected to see a stack towards the A bomb site. And the other thing that surprised me was the fact that NiP, after realizing, well, we've stacked B, nobody's coming, that they actually decided to actively try to defend it.
Yeah.
That was really surprising to me because I could have easily seen a scenario where they just decide like, okay, we've lost it. Let's just stay on B, set up for potential exit frags if TSM come hunting, and we go again next round. Well, but they do a fair bit of damage, so I guess you can't blame them for that. But still, and again, a bit of a stack towards that B bomb site.
This time Freiburg's been the sole man that's gone looking in Palace. Actually, may have noticed that actually nobody's there, but look at this, they're all up mid. 3 members, Freiburg getting tagged and pushed down. Shots raining through, so the rotate once again is coming out. This time around, doesn't look like it's going to be anywhere near as successful. They're completely locked out of sight, but the bomb was left. TSM have only just picked that up. Cajun beat all the way around. Oh, Carrigan with the MAC-10. Not the best weapon from range that he's got, but at this point, it will work out well for him. And quickly, Dupree comes in to back him up. So it should be TSM's round here. Just Aloe and Get Right, the 2 remaining against 4 members of TSM. So good start for TSM, exactly what they needed here on the T side. How are NiP going to respond? They're going to have the rifle round coming up now. What are they going to do? Because they've actually, I mean, they've obviously stacked out sides with the pistol, tried to try something fancy against TSM, try something loose. Hasn't worked out. Back to default now. I
think for the first buy round, you kind of have to play something default. The one thing that could deviate from that is the fact that they're not going to be able to get a double op setup. So if they feel like that's their best shot at actually winning CT rounds on this map, then they might try to play aggressive. Whether it be, you know, a 3-man push up mid to gain mid control early, or aggressive in apps with 2 people, that type of thing. That's, you know, 2 very real possibilities. But with no ops, I'm very curious to see what NiP are going to do. But I think they kind of have to go aggressive because they don't really have that many nades really to hold people back either. Sure, they have a lot of smokes and flashes, but they don't have any Molotovs. And Molotovs are the really scary things on Mirage.
Well, mid-control picked up, but Get Right might be able to find Carrigan around the side, but no. Carrigan answers. He's been on point with his AWP throughout this game so far. That nade not quite catching on towards Forest. He managed to back away, but Freiburg does find one down in dark there as they push on towards A site. And that was a good flash. It stopped Device pushing through up ramp there. It is A site that they're going to try and hit here, and this is a rotate coming out from NiP. This is delay tactics working well. Freiburg gets himself tucked in, but it's Carrigan they have to deal with. He's certainly been the man of a big presence here for TSM, and once again he lands the shot. Device covers him off. Good little crossfire. Finally gets taken down. Exist not quite getting on towards Dupree there. Did manage to get the kill, but Device quickly responded, and that's really been what TSM have had this time. Every kill they have is answered in kind. They are backing each other up nicely with the crossfires. Yeah, and Carrigan is doing an immense job actually getting early frags with those ops. And even when they're taking sites, you wouldn't favor the op to be the one to open up sites for you, but he's actually doing that as well. So that's extremely well done by him. And NiP ran into the problem there where they held back the initial push from TSM, but well, eventually they ran out of nades. And Device already starting off strong here. NiP are on an eco though. Well, it's a full Deagle setup they went with, apart from Aloe, I think. Forrest rushed on through down ramp. He tried to catch up, but Device was ready for him. TSM set up, maybe expecting some aggression this time around. Exist does find Cajun B. And now actually Exist has gone aggressive. He's dropped on through and he may find more. He's going to manage to get himself an AK. Gets one. Can he make it even more? Tries to get the spray down, but Dupree is not going to fall for that one. He's going to collect the bomb, but that gave him a lot of information. Get Right and Aloe are going on the hunt while Freiburg's making the long route around. But this means that Get Right and Aloe, they're going to be coming from the same direction, and Freiburg's the man that has to slow them down. A 3-on-3. Now, that AK has been collected. It's actually in Aloe's hands. I wonder if he's going to pass it off to Get Right, who's got full hit points, or whether they're just going to try and hold the angle. Get Right's got himself an orb. Good lord, this is... It's a pretty nice catch for NiP. And that obviously tells you that seeing how they found these weapons, they're not going to try to retake this bomb site, which could have been a possibility if they only had pistols. Now it's pretty much them setting up for exit kills and Freiburg looking to see if he can find an AK for himself. It may work out for him. Device is close, but he doesn't quite land the headshot. He will get out, and it's going to be TSM taking it 13-7. Just 3 rounds from taking it to this third map, which of course will be Inferno. And got to assume that you'd favor TSM, but right now assumptions have just gone out the window. Yeah, no, I mean, I guess you could go with gut feeling. That's probably the most accurate thing you can go for, but there we go, the double op setup coming out from NiP.
And this is where they have to do it. They have to stop TSM right now because TSM are building up a bank just by winning a lot of rounds. Even though they're losing members here and there, they're still going to be able to rebuy being on that T side. And NiP with this big of an investment, even though one of the ops is from the previous round, they're going to have to stop TSM right now.
Forest might find Cajun B. He's got the AWP over on B side. Cajun B forces him back, but that's the shot that TSM needed. They open up A site. Freiburg going down. Get right now, Luke. Over in jungle and connector. They're going to get smoked off as Device continues to go on the hunt. Alu's going to have to make the long rotate round. Get right, expecting that lurker, expecting someone to come around the back, but it's not really happening. Cajun B's the man that's going to come around, but he's a long way off as the bomb goes down. Still, only the one man down, but Get Right will drop. Device finds him as he pushes through towards jungle. And now NiP, they're starting to look to save their weapons. They're starting to look to just hold on. Device is going to wrap around. Alu gets picked off by Dupree. And one by one, NiP fall. Forest still hangs on, clings to that AWP as he gets tested. Exist is going to be the single man to hold him at bay. Zipnix finds him, quickly backs out there. He's going to go in, pre-firing around the corner. Should be enough to take him down. And Forest will drop towards the end there. So NiP completely cleaned out. And more importantly, TSM now just 2 rounds from victory.
Yeah, no, pretty awful round for NiP. And you know, the scenario we spoke about very early on in the game and during the pauses, but the fact that more and more teams are doing these executes without any nades, and, well, an auto sniper on Get Right. So not sharing the carry could have dropped the Colt there for Forest, but he's going to go with UMP and Alu getting the first pick off the Kerrigan in mid.
Well, Alu was the man that managed to turn the T side a little in towards their favor, but NiP yet to pick up a round on CT. TSM absolutely dominated, but let's see if Get Right can make use of this. He's already managed to find one. Forest with the UMP could certainly get a good challenge on towards Cajun B. And with that bomb making its way around mid, this is actually a very good setup for NiP with those 2 down. Tag's going to come through. Forest finds one, doesn't check to the left-hand side, but it doesn't matter. Alu is there, and now the last man standing gets a good tag. It's Zipnix, and that's going to force Alu to back away. He needs to keep hold of this weapon. Just the 1 health. Wow, a nade into jungle would get themselves a double kill, but sadly for Zipnix, he only has the molly in hand. He gets a good spray down in fist. This is not beyond the realms of possibility because both Freiburg and Alu are next to no health. And Zipnix, with 40 seconds to go, can go anywhere on the map.
Yeah, and I think even if Zipnix's chances of actually winning the round aren't that high, just taking out NiP members in this type of situation is massive for them.
Freiburg's actually got himself onto Tetris. Zipnix.
When both the low HP members from NiP are on the same side.
That flash is going to work. That's going to catch him. Oh, the flash hadn't quite popped off in time. Freiburg does take him down, and NiP live to hang on. 14-8. TSM, of course, can just afford to buy straight back up.
Yeah. So no money worries just yet for TSM, but obviously it's not a trend that can continue for them if they want to keep buying up. Because getting that op on Kerrigan over and over again is really expensive.
So where's Kerrigan going? He's going to go towards B side, which is actually where Get Right's holding that auto sniper, which so many people hate, but you know what? It works. It simply works.
It's kind of fitting to see Get Right being the one pick it up as well. But it's not going to work out versus Kerrigan with the op. And already a man down on B bomb site.
Is that going to force a rotation? Because TSM are still stacked out, you see. Oh, Forest is going to get caught out. Alu responds, gets himself one, gets a little check. Cajun B always just pushing around the corner. Doesn't manage to land the shot the second time of asking it out. Cajun will put the pressure on towards him. Freiburg's trying to do one-man holding defense here. We've seen it before, but I don't think it's going to happen this time. Zipnix will push on through and now Exist all alone with TSM looking at map point. And it does seem that we will have a 3-map series. Inferno is beckoning. You've got to assume that TSM would be the favored team going into that one, but NiP did manage to take down Envious on Inferno earlier on. They themselves are a very good team, but it was a close game. TSM, I think, are a step above when it comes to Inferno teams, but Exist looks like he's going to get hunted down here. Bomb's about to go off. I don't think he's going to be able to keep hold of this weapon. Cajun B is going to be one that challenges, but now they know where he is. Is there any nades available? No. He should be safe as long as he tucks himself away. No, it's not going to happen. Dupree finds him.
So, yeah. From bad to worse for NiP right now. not going to have any real money to work with here in the last round, or potentially last round. You can see auto shotgun being bought up by Forest here.
God.
A lot of shotguns just in general, which is kind of surprising, but that tells me that they want to go aggressive somewhere.
Yeah.
So A apps, B apps, basically just
straight away ramp.
Yeah.
That looks like where it's going to go. Freiburg up close and personal. Well, we saw a lot of this coming out of Fnatic earlier on. It worked out well for them. I mean, you kind of expect it from Flusher these days. It's something, it's almost a staple diet. Alu's actually going on a really big hunt. He's wrapping around. He's almost around T-spawn.
Yeah.
So he's going a long way around while TSM are holding at ramp here. Occasion B is going to get a little peek around now. Doesn't really have the close range weapon. Get right will get picked off. Everything goes TSM's way. And now you've got to assume we will be going to a map 3 as TSM close it out here. Forest gets one down. Can't get the second as Carrigan once again, ever present, booms in with that orb. He has been certainly the man of this map, no doubt about it. 23 kills to his name, and he has stopped NiP dead in their tracks. The momentum has been derailed, and TSM take it 16-8. We're going to map 3. It will be Inferno.
No, definitely an impressive, bounce back from TSM right there on Mirage. To be expected, I think it's fair to say. I think even though NiP had such a good showing on the first map, I think everyone expected Mirage to go in the favor of TSM here. But to me, Inferno, that's a coin toss, really.
But the smiles are back on the faces of TSM. Some big grins all around. They are certainly happy with that result, and why not? Because they were a little worried, I think it's safe to say, after 4-2 beginnings.
Yeah, and then PC problems, you name it. Bit of delays, and that can easily throw you off your game as well, but they definitely show that they had the staying power, so no resemblance, no flashbacks to the old days of choking performances, so that's a really good sign for TSM.
Of course, everybody's hoping that they can get towards the finals, maybe see that Fnatic TSM best of 5. Best of 5 it is, of course, tomorrow. That will be at 7 o'clock. That's the final. But let's see if Virtus.pro and Fnatic can make a difference. That's going to be coming up after this one, of course, but we have one map to go. It will be Inferno. It's TSM versus NiP, and it should be getting underway in just a few moments. Once these guys sort out, have a quick break, and they'll be ready to go. Are you a Bay-lever? that is the phrase for TSM. I don't know whether it's actually come across to the CS scene. It's definitely the League of Legends side, because of course they were all from San Francisco.
Exactly. I remember the Bay Life spam and Twitch,
God, yes.
Numerous Twitch chats.
Oh, good lord. Yes.
So definitely recognize that. I'm not really sure when that got brought over to CS, but I guess it's kind of a universal thing now.
It's unusual to see them in Bay Life t-shirts. I haven't seen them for a while actually, but TSM, their repertoire of t-shirts is certainly large.
There's no doubt about it. I think they have 4 different shirts on. Not too shabby.
Not too shabby, that's for sure. But okay, let's be realistic now.
Yeah.
Do we feel the pressure suddenly actually struck and suddenly NiP slowed down?
I actually think that, as weird as it sounds, because the other option than losing map 2 is winning, right? So you'd be over with it. I think NiP at this point kind of feels like, well,
we've got nothing to lose still.
Yeah, now we really don't, we're back to square one. We don't have anything to lose anymore. So I think that can work in their favor. That said, you mentioned it several times, TSM extremely strong on Inferno. And I think especially their T side is really good on this map. So that's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. And what was kind of the big factor for NiP versus Envious was their T side. That was excellent versus Envious. So, it's going to be the battle of the 2 T sides for both teams.
Well, as the players take a break, let's hear what you guys have to say. It's over to Sean in the crowd.
Thank you so much, Lee. We're down here in the crowd. The kids are enjoying it, of course, because we are 1-1. Exactly whatever we wanted. We're going to that third. And right here I have, who are you rooting for, sir?
Pardon?
Who are you rooting for?
I'm voting for NiP.
NiP. And who's your favorite NiP player?
All of them. The group is amazing.
Group's amazing. Words are right there. You good, sir. What's your name?
Daniel.
Daniel, who are you rooting for?
Well, TSM.
And favorite TSM player?
Well, I like the whole organization. I'm a League of Legends player, I'll be honest.
Oh, there's nothing wrong with that. If you're like Daniel and you like League of Legends, we have great news because League of Legends is coming to San Jose in the San Jose Sharks Stadium, and that's with the Intel Extreme Masters. So you could be there for League of Legends, or you could be there for Counterstrike. So head over, you have no excuse, get involved. Esports is coming to you, support that scene. Now, of course, something that's really important here is all the people that are working here at the Games 15. All around Dubai, there are both volunteers that are working and the guys that are actually putting this on, and they're doing such a great job. I want to take this opportunity to thank them because they're absolutely fantastic. And I'm sure if we ask guys, are you having fun here at Games 15? They are. They're very enthusiastic, which is a good thing because it's a great match. I have to say, I don't know if I could call it. I mean, it's going to be a big next match, but I know guys that can definitely call it, and that's the geniuses over at our expert desk, and they are led by the wonderful man himself, the Machine.
Back to the studio, Alan.
Thank you very much, both Crowd and Sean, for that wonderful introduction. I think we also have to credit Sean for being the smoothest man in the world, currently residing in Dubai, for that segue between a League of Legends fan and the League of Legends going on in San Jose later on. So a round of applause for him. I'm going to give him a pat on the back when I see him.
Yeah.
And
someone give him a raise.
I think he does, yeah, most definitely. Every kind of smooth message he sends, he gets a little bump.
Yeah, you know what I like as well? You know, the audience is there and they're touching his face and thinking that they'll try and throw him up. What they don't know is that Sean loves that.
Yeah,
so.
that actually drives him.
Yeah, they're not throwing him off, they're just feeding him more energy.
Yeah. He performs his best when there is a crowd massaging his face at random intervals. But anyway, face massages aside, guys, I think we should talk a little bit about CS, if you fancy it.
Okay, if you want, Alex.
All right, I guess we'll talk about some CS. First things we need to talk about is Mirage. Of course, I want to make sure we have plenty of time to address the third and most important map currently for this best of 3. But let's close down on it, Mirage, and kind of summarize that. We went into that one after our little slight delay, saying you're expected to see a third. We have.
Yeah.
So any kind of closing thoughts, Anders?
I think Moses and I got it right.
Yeah, first time for everything, eh?
There we go.
Oh, man.
You had to do that, didn't you? Well, I mean, that means we're going to go into Inferno. I think Mirage, just like a lot of control for TSM, they played pretty well on CT side. They got enough rounds that they needed. Terrorist side, as we kind of expected, a lot harder for NiP to hold everything, and they were as we kind of expect TSM to be on that map on the terrorist side. Just too much control for the Danes.
Yeah, and a lot of that control came from that performance from Kerrigan. What was it, 23 kills, but you know, it's a solid number. It's not the highest we've seen in this tournament, but just the way that AWP controlled the map helped TSM out a lot, gained map control, provided them openings elsewhere. Big time performance from him moving forward.
Yeah, moving forward, perfectly segue. That was almost a Sean segue into Inferno.
I'm taking notes.
Yeah, I'm quite literally scribbling down every time he pulls swing in the crowd. But yeah, Inferno, we need to talk about Inferno because this is going to be our third and final map in this best of 3. NiP surprising us on Dust 2. TSM, fair to say, returning to kind of standard TSM over on Mirage?
Yeah. But I mean, here's my fear about this: is you know, normally when you you want to use the past performance for these teams to try and predict what's coming next. But which past of NiP do we use? Because this is, I mean, if you look at the recent history, this is a whole completely different team that we're seeing at this event out of NiP. We've mentioned it multiple times. So I mean, this is a team. You know, I mentioned it, even predicting that NiP was going to lose that first map for sure, was that these players are so good at, you know, making the best out of impossible situations. They're the ones who can, you know, they are like that Mission Impossible. You know, they get given something that we say you can't do, and they make me specifically eat my words.
Yeah, well, I mean, I wish we could talk a whole lot more about that one. There's so much that's going to go down on Inferno. It's going to be a real blockbuster, and we are going to take a quick break after I hear what you guys are calling this one. Anders is desperate to let everyone know that he's a Dane at heart, I assume.
Yeah,
or holding the NiP flag with the fan club.
Talking TSM, am I right?
Yeah.
And how about you, Moses? You seen this one?
Yeah, I got to stick with TSM.
Okay. Des calling the NiP victory on Dust 2 a bit of an anomaly, as it does look like they're expected to see this one go the way of the Danish side, Team SoloMid. We'll be back after this, and we'll see if the Des can get it right for a second time.